Test 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Testing the sound.
He knows what he's doing already. He's like starting the interview. You want to interview me? I think you should interview me.
Yeah, right.
Thirsty Fighter here for the third episode of my GritFit series where I interview Douglas Lima, who is a world champion Bellator MMA fighter. And we're here to talk about some of the challenges that he went through when he was at the top of his game and had his first Bellator title. And then due to a significant knee injury, 4 surgeries later, unsure of whether he could go any further and continue his career. Story is fantastic, inspiring. Take a listen. Douglas Lima. Wow. I'm good. I'm honored. Very honored.
Pleasure's all mine.
Yes. Thank you for believing in the GritFit series and telling your story and helping others.
Sounds good.
I think we would like to kind of dive into 2016 was a hell of a year, huh?
It was
for
tough. It was tough.
Yeah. What was going on?
I don't remember exactly what year. 2016 when I first got hurt. Knee injury. It first started out as a simple meniscus surgery, and it was right after my first world title in Bellator. I got hurt in training for the fight. I was able to go through it, fought, I got the belt, but right after that's when the complications started. I started with a meniscus and then I got an infection on the knee, and it was just surgeries after surgeries. I think I did 2 or 3, then I had to defend the title.
Now, prior to this, leading up to this, how long have you been a fighter leading up?
32 years old now. I did my first fight, I was 17. So I started training when I was 13 or 14 years old.
Wow.
And I've always been a passion. I've always loved the martial arts. I've always loved movies, the gyms, like action movies. So that's something that I've always enjoyed doing it. Never a violent person. I've always hated, street fights and confrontation, stuff like that. But in the gym, in the cage, it's just something that I really enjoy doing. It's just a passion of mine, and I'm just blessed to keep doing this. Do what I love. Because if you work doing something that you love, it's just amazing. It's a good feeling.
Yes. That's okay, no worries. That's the nature of family, which is also really important to you.
Very important.
Having family around and with you and your priorities. I mean, that's something else. That's it's hard to balance all of that. When you're trying to do something at such a high level. We're not. This is well beyond something as a hobby. This is your livelihood. This is your profession. And combat sports, especially MMA, is very difficult on the body and very difficult mentally and emotionally, not just physically. So again, like when you're in the pit of despair, when you were having these challenges, and this was your career, right? You were like, what's happening with my career? What's going through your mind?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy because, like I said, Q said, I got a family, I got kids to feed, I got a wife, of course, they always come first to me, they come first. And my biggest fear in life is not being able to provide for them, Came from a simple family, in Brazil. So, live in the American house. So my goal is always to give my kids, my family, a better life that I've always had. So the biggest challenge for me with that injury, it was right when my career really picked up. Started getting better money. I got the world title, and bam,
Wow.
everything just drops on me. I got the crazy injury. There was a point, during it a couple of doctors told me, like, man, choose a different career.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like hearing that from a doctor, it's like, man, how you gonna tell me that? You know what I mean? But I'm a Christian man. I believe in God. I know everything happens for a reason. You know what I mean? So my faith was on Him, and kept me going. Even in there was time when I was going up in my stairs at the house. I was crawling up. I couldn't walk off. You know what I mean? I couldn't run after my kid. I had my daughter already. I couldn't run after her. Couldn't play soccer. I couldn't do the stuff that we do with our kids. And that's challenging. And knowing and people telling you that you'll never be able to fight again, because if I can't fight, if I can't do this, what else am I gonna do? I was never good in school. It's not something that I enjoyed. Man, I can't do anything else. This is my life. So yeah, it was just a crazy moment. You know what I mean? But my faith was stronger. You know what I mean? I knew there was a plan. I knew God had a plan for me doing all that crazy that happened. It was 2 to 3 years. 2 to 3 years. Changed a lot of things in my life. Made me a better person, and I came back. After the 4th surgery. On the same knee. I have atrophy in my leg. One leg is smaller than the other. One of the doctors explained it to me like this. In your knee, I think a bomb exploded it inside, and everything is just messed up there. Outside looks fine, but the inside, everything is destroyed. So I was like, man, so what are we gonna do?
Right.
And most of them, they were like, they didn't have an answer for me. It was bone on bone. It was pain to walk. There was a time I was in crutches for 6 weeks straight. It's like moments like that you appreciate the little things in life. You don't know how important it is to walk. Like, just walk until you can't do it. You know what I mean? So, stuff like that just makes you grow, makes you appreciate life in different levels. Like being able to run after my kids nowadays is like, man, like a couple years ago, I couldn't do this. You know what I mean? So I think we have to go through stuff like that sometimes in life to appreciate really what we have, And man, I came back even better. You know what I mean? Even though I had this knee, I have, it's never gonna be 100%, but I'm able to do this at the highest level. I got the world title back and then some. Like 3 times what I had before, I have now after the whole process. So, you just can't, be ungrateful. Sometimes bad injuries, sometimes you lose a leg, you lose this, but I know it's God teaching you something. You know what I mean? There's something that you have to change. If this is happening to you, some stuff you got to change. And that's how I look at it. That's how I feel it. Like I said, it made me a better person. It made, like, my humility got so much better. I'm thankful for the little things, and I don't know. It wasn't amazing. Looking back now, I'm thankful for everything that happened. I know there was a lot of nights where I was crying. I was like, how am I going to be able to provide for my family? This is the best moment of my career, and all of this is happening. Now I can't do it. Something that I've been fighting for 10, 15 years.
Yes.
Right when I get there, boom.
Yeah.
It's like, man. You know what I mean? So, I definitely learned a lot from it. You know what I mean? I became a better man, a better father, a better husband.
Yes.
And here we are, Life keeps on going. I'll keep doing this until I can't no more.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's the beauty, like you said,
Look
about
at
your
that.
family.
Kids running around.
I know that's what is in you, That's what makes you so special. Your faith, your family, your focus on the things and priorities that are really important to you. And we all go through really challenging times. I remember there was you actually saw me practically crawling out of American Top Team.
That's right. Yep.
One day, I didn't know what had happened, and I found out the following day that I tore my calf. And I was hobbling out, and it's really interesting because I didn't want to disturb the class. I knew something was seriously wrong, but I didn't know what it was. So I just needed to kind of get myself out of there before I broke down also. And then when you talked about crawling, for how long crawling up and down stairs and, washing my hair on my one knee with the other leg out in the tub because I couldn't stand and get in the shower and I didn't have, the legs to use at the time. So, again, during those moments and you're digging in and you're utilizing your faith and leaning on that, was there ever a window of time during that where you're like, maybe I shouldn't fight anymore?
There were moments, of course, because you're like, it's just so much pain, you can't even walk. How am I going to fight again? There was definitely moments where I thought, this is over for me. But then the next day I woke up, no, it's not over yet.
Yeah.
I don't know, I think you have to hold on to something, it's like, what you believe, if it's your faith or your family, whatever it is, keep the faith. Because, sometimes we gotta crawl out of these holes. You hit bottom, like the saying goes. Once you hit the bottom, like the bottom's the only way to go, rock bottom. The only way to go is up. And that was the moment that that happened to me. It's like, I can't just stay here and cry. Let me do some rehab. Let me do something that whatever it is. I was looking for different doctors. I traveled. Bellator really helped me out with that too. They took me to some other specialists. Here and there. So, like I said, everything was for a reason. And the doubts. One day I had doubts, but the next day I woke up stronger. So, for me, it's just God. I'm really, I really believe in God. I know He made the difference in my life, and He taught me a lot with this injury. And like I said, I'm just grateful for it. Something is bad. Some things, sometimes you don't understand what's happening to you at the moment. But when you look back at it, you really learn to appreciate it. You realize it was for a reason.
Yeah.
I know it was for a reason, because the changes it made in my life, it's just unbelievable. And I'm just thankful for it. I think the more we are thankful for everything, everything that you have, I know better things will happen to you. So, and that's how I look at stuff now, just being grateful, helping people, helping as much as I can with everything. Being a good father, a good husband, I think that's super important because everything starts at your house. If you have a wife, you have a husband, everything starts at home.
Wow,
if everything is going good there, everything outside is going to be good. So just, being grateful with everything.
Yeah, that's like you said, everything starts at home and the strength of that faith. It's, I still think about those priorities.
Oh, yeah.
Because training at the level that you have to train at, to fight at the level that you have to fight at, it's not like I'm going to go to the gym for an hour or two.
It's not. There's a lot more that goes into it. There's dieting. There's times away from the family. Sometimes you go outside, to do training camps. Your kids is eating Chick-fil-A. You're here eating your salad. So it's a lot of, some people might look at it as like, that's nothing. But no, when you're losing 30 pounds to fight, like your attitude changes. You get cranky. So, but you still got to handle your kids and wife at home. So it's a fight everywhere. Like the last 8 weeks before a fight, just surviving camp is a win, without any injuries. Because, some people don't know, but we train really hard. We put our body to the limit of the limits, Not only that, you got to go back home, and be a good family man. So it's a lot that goes into it, but I'm just so grateful for it, For me, it's just an amazing experience, living all these moments, the struggles, the ups and downs. It's an amazing job. That's what I have to say. But you really have to be strong because it's not just coming, like you say, it's not just coming here for an hour and train. There's a lot more that goes on. And at the end of the day, you got to win the fight. You're fighting another trained person who went to the same thing you went. So now your mentor is like, man, am I ready for this? So the doubt comes in there too, you know, because you're fighting another grown man who's trying to take your head off.
Wow, yeah.
So, you know, it's a lot that goes into this MMA, like this fight game. But,
and here we are. I mean, we're sitting on the floor, on the mats, because it's just like sore from training and tired, and just like, let's just sit on the floor. But when you say the fight is everywhere, that is such an important message there. It's not just the physical training. It's not just one aspect of the game. And, of course, in mixed martial arts, it's a mixed martial art, so it's multiple aspects of the game that have to be dialed in and worked in the strategy. But like you said, you're coming home, you're physically at your weakest, and now you're handling your most important priority, which is your family. God, that's so hard.
It is.
It's so hard.
You gotta help out too, sometimes I just sit there like, dude, I gotta get out of the sofa. I'm done resting, but it's like, sometimes it gets in the way too, like, cause I want to play with my kids. My mind is like, okay, go run after them. But my body's like, sit there for a little bit longer. You know what I mean? So, but I try to do as best as I can. My wife, especially when I'm closer to a fight, she understands it too. And that's important to have a person like that, have a partner that's gonna support you in these moments, because she understands too what I go through in here. My physical is just done when I get home sometimes, and she understands and she helps a lot. So, and that's super important, what I mean, to have somebody supporting you like this, somebody that's like you, right next to you the whole moment. So I'm thankful for that too. Because sometimes it gets hard. I've said this in all of the interviews so far. It always comes up, which is iron sharpens iron, and it's not just the person across from you that you're training with. It's family, it's friends, it's your faith. I mean, those are, your faith is a relationship. They're all relationships and priorities that you put into it. Most definitely, Iron sharpens iron. I like that. It goes in the family too. So she's there.
Yes,
She's there behind, pushing me. My kids too.
Yeah, she's a warrior. I mean, she should be interviewed too, like for GritFit, because there's so much that goes into that as well as supporting.
Because sometimes people don't realize, but you see how we go through the wife's eyes. It's interesting too, because she sees it. They see it, and sometimes people don't realize, because she suffers too, because I'm here killing myself, training, and then she goes to the fight, she's nervous, she's scared I'm gonna get hurt. So, it's like when I'm fighting, the whole family's fighting. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, it's something interesting about this sport.
Yeah, that warrior spirit for the family is really significant, that they are there doing, also playing their roles within the whole family to help each other achieve what they need to achieve. It's such a balance. I mean, and you also teach others. You just opened American Top Team Lima, which I'm sitting in. We're sitting in right now. How's that been going?
It's been going great, actually.
In the midst of
all this COVID and all this crazy.
Right.
We opened right at the moment. But, it's something that I've always wanted. I always wanted a gym here with my brother, my family. And we opened this up, and I won the tournament. I won my belt back, and one of the investments was this gym. And we did it. We opened, and like you said, in the middle of all this craziness, but it's been a blessing. Like everything that I wanted to reach, in 6 months, we did it in 2. Even in during this crazy time. So I'm just thankful. I'm just grateful. It's definitely a blessing. This for us. It's a place where we can come. My family can come. My kids can train. and we get to help out other people that wants to follow, the same footsteps, into MMA or just to get in shape. It's just what we want for this gym is like a family environment. You know what I mean? That's what we see here. That's what we hear from people that works here, from the members. So the more I hear that, the more happy I get. 'Cause it's something that I've always wanted for this place, and I'm just very grateful for it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thank you. If you could leave the viewers, the people that are going to be watching this, with something that when you're going through something really, really challenging in your life, and you're like right now in the valley and really, really struggling, what can you do to help get you through to the next day?
The first thing, you got to believe in something. For me, I believe in God, and be grateful, because know that what you're going through, at this moment is gonna help you in the future. And I know it sucks doing, the injury or whatever it is you're going through, a loss or a job that you got fired, but use that as a stepping to grow. You know what I mean? I think that's the biggest thing that we have to learn through the difficulties. It's just a learning process. It's not over. It's not over until you're you're 6 feet deep. If you're alive, you got breath in you, keep going, keep pushing. Everything is for a reason.
Yeah.
And that's what I have to say about that.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. It was awesome. Thank you.
Hear how he got through it.